So in the ever-going saga that is P. Diddler, P. Diddy, the Diddly Dooster, bruh, check out this shit. We're going to do from two sources because one source sound like sour grapes, and you can kind of tell. Listen to this. Exclusive Diddy. Three-way calls was purely personal. Music mogul drank behind bars. Let's see. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I had a problem with what they last said. And this did hit the New York Times, but that don't make it no better. And it hit the New York Daily News as well, but they want me to pay to read what they wrote. I'm not doing that. 10:51 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sources close to Sean Diddy Combs tells TMZ our story about Diddy drinking homemade alcohol in prison is 100% true. Wait, what? Hold the hell on. Let me reread that. Sources close to Sean Diddy Combs snitches to TMZ about their story about Diddy drinking liquor in prison and is 100% true. Come on now, really? Regarding the three-way call, we're told it was purely personal with Diddy chatting with two family members and their discussion had nothing to do with issuing a statement to the New York Times. Sean Diddy Combs hasn't been at his New Jersey prison digs for very long, but he's already facing possible punishment for breaking the rules, according to a new report CBS News obtained. Prison documents that outline Diddy's first days at FCI Fort Dix, along with his mugshot that shows his name and inmate number. Diddy is serving a 4-year prison term after his federal conviction for transporting male escorts across lines for the purposes of P. The music mogul was transferred from Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center to Fort Dix on October 30th, the day before Halloween. Boo. According to the CBS News documents, because TMZ right now is trying to make sure they throw anybody under the bus, Diddy has already run afoul of prison rules just a few days into his incarceration at Fort Dix. Diddy reportedly made a 3-person call to discuss issuing a statement to the New York Times, but ended up in violation of the Bureau of Prison Rules, BOP guidelines, bar inmates from adding multiple people to phone calls for fear inmates could use them to coordinate criminal activity. During the November 3rd call, Diddy reportedly spoke with an unnamed woman about getting in touch with the digital person about blogs. Then Diddy allegedly discussed arranging weekend visits with loved ones, recommending they bring $200 in singles. Prison rules prevent visitors from coming into the facility with cash, but coins are allowed for vending machines. Oh, all right. So you're trying to get some snacks. Y'all acting like this the worst thing ever. Anyways, after the two were done talking visitation, the woman reportedly added a third party to the call, an unidentified man, in violation of prison regulations. According to the docs, Diddy later told prison officials that he was chatting with his female lawyer, who added his PR guy to the call to draft a statement to be sent to the New York Times after he approved it. Diddy denied he was discussing blogs and provided no reason why he would want to issue a statement to the New York Times. In addition, Diddy claimed he was uninformed about the third-party phone call regulations, but prison officials still recommend he lose 90 days of phone privileges and 90 days of commissary privileges. According to CBS News, prison officials filed the ruling November 4th, CBS News says, but it's unclear what the outcome was. Yeah, y'all doing way too much. Man, come on now. CBS News also reports Diddy is now employed as a chaplain's assistant at Fort Dix, which is hilarious, which is considered a much better gig than other prison jobs. Typically, inmates who work in the chapel, clean the office, preserve the library, and do record keeping. It was earlier reported Diddy was working laundry duties at the facility while sniffing drawers of used inmates fresh out of the shower. What's more, CBS News says Diddy is receiving intensive drug treatment through the Residential Drug Abuse Program, RDAP unit. According to the BOP, inmates who participate in the RDAP program can get their sentences reduced by up to 1 year. So you're telling me, you're telling me basically that somebody from Diddy's camp basically would run the risk of him being kicked out of the RDAP program, him basically adding more time on his damn scheduled list. You're telling me that they would admit this to you, TMZ? TMZ is telling us to believe that they have somebody in his circle that will let people know he got caught with Pruno, the hooch, the wine sale. You know what I'm saying? The sale of the wine. Pardon me. I think that's what he said. I don't know. I ain't never been to prison. I ain't never going. So shit. Don't kill me for that one. But bruh, that don't even sound right. What it sounds like is TMZ is doing the same shit that they did with the Trump story. It's like they're actively trying to go against this man. And it's weird. But it's what TMZ does. So let's run the CBS story. So that's great news. But it's also bad news. Let's go ahead and see exactly what the hell the CBS News document says. And it says, Sean Diddy Combs' life in prison includes job and chapel, drug treatment, and discipline over a banned phone call. So nothing about the liquor so far. Sean Diddy Combs has spent his early days in prison working in the chapel and enrolled in an intensive drug treatment program according to prison documents exclusively obtained by CBS News. He has also found himself facing disciplinary action for an unauthorized phone call just days after being transferred to federal prison in New Jersey, with the looming possibility of temporarily losing his phone and commissary privileges as a result. Combs was moved. Yeah, we already know all that crap. Documents offer a glimpse at how the hip-hop mogul is spending his prison days in a hard-to-get-to treatment program and on a coveted work assignment, even as he is accused of flouting a prison rule. That's insane, bruh. And y'all act like special treatment does not exist. A prestigious work assignment. Combs is working as a chaplain's assistant, which is considered one of the more desirable assignments at the Fort Dix prison. A former prison commissioner told CBS News the task varies. But it says tasks vary. But I'm from California, so we don't say, you know what I mean. But anyways, typically inmates maintain the chaplain's religious library, clean their office, and help with some record keeping. Combs' publicist Judah Engelmeyer told CBS News he works in a chapel library where he describes the environment as warm, respectful, and rewarding. What makes the assignment especially desirable is that it has prestige within the prison. The former commissioner said it allows the inmate to work in a private office, often with air conditioning, and chaplains frequently bring in food for religious services, which can be shared with the assistant. You gotta be kidding me. For real? He probably paid somebody to let him be the chaplain. They be like, hey, brother, I'll give you $1,000. You quit your job. Let me do it. But anyways, a corrections officer who worked in the federal prisons for more than 20 years told CBS the chapel is one of the only places where inmates can congregate freely. Chaplains can also allow their assistants to prepare a call-out list, which tells officers which inmates are allowed to leave their cell to go to programs or medical appointments. Assistants could add their connections or friends to the list. Combs, who said he was raised Catholic, for real? Nah, hell no. He was raised Catholic. Anyways, has spoken publicly about not identifying with any specific denomination, although he has in recent years referenced God several times. In 2017, he wrote on social media, God puts us all through things for a reason. And he was seen reading the Bible in courtroom during the trial. Unauthorized team call. Within a few days of his arrival at the prison, Combs found himself in trouble. He made a 3-person call on November 3rd in violation of prison rules. He told officials it was a conversation with his legal team about issuing a statement to the New York Times. The Bureau of Prisons prohibits inmates from adding multiple people to a call, and inmates can only speak to people on prison phones from previously approved call lists under longstanding security rules. According to the documents, he called an unnamed woman, and about halfway through their call, Combs said he needed to talk with someone described as the digital person. Regarding blogs, the woman asked Combs if she should add that person to the call, and he said yes. Combs first spoke briefly with the woman about arranging visitors for the weekend and suggesting they bring $200 in singles. There is no indication as to how he intended to use the money. Prison regulations bar visitors from bringing in currency other than coins for vending machines. After they finished speaking about visitation, the woman added an unknown male to the call, circumventing prison rules. Combs later explained that he was speaking with his attorney, and she added the head of legal communications to work on a statement for his approval to be sent to the Times. He said they were not talking about blogs It was not made clear why Combs was putting together a statement for the news organization. Multi-person calls are banned in prisons because of concerns that inmates can use them to coordinate criminal activities such as drug smuggling, gang violence, or witness intimidation. However, such calls can also be used for more innocent purposes, such as talking to two loved ones at the same time. One corrections officer told CBS News, for example, they called their girlfriend and asked them to add their mother. The source added that inmates run the risk of getting caught, but no, correction officers can't truly monitor the thousands of calls taking place within federal prisons daily. There are over 4,100 inmates at FCI Fort Dix alone. According to prison documents, Combs said no one had informed him about the regulation on phone calls, and he said he never received a prison admission or orientation handbook. Prison officials recommended Combs lose 90 days of phone privileges and 90 days of commissary privileges for the infraction. Their ruling was filed on November 4th, Combs' 56th birthday. It's unclear if the recommended penalty has been implemented. This is a serious offense that shows a disregard for the rules, a source close to the investigation said. Engelmeyer told CBS News it was a procedural call initiated by one of his attorneys and was protected under attorney-client privilege. There was nothing improper. Combs-led attorney Mark Agnifilo did not comment. And they go on to talk about the RDAP program. But I think we're pretty much done here because it says, yeah, it ain't nothing but a bunch of stuff he already said. But let's get into it. So the fact that they are saying, CBS is saying that Diddy and his team is essentially saying, hey, bro, I wanted you to add somebody on here so that this, and this could be taken care of and all this shit and everything. All right. I mean, it's funny because there are so many incarcerated individuals who get phone interviews and all this stuff and everything. I could think of a shit ton of rappers, high-class rappers, low-class rappers who do all of this stuff. So I don't really see nothing too wrong about it. I get why the prisons would say all of this stuff, but easily at the same time for them to say, oh, it's 4,100 people walking around Fort Dix right now that's on phones. Yeah, but there's only one Sean Diddy Combs there. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all monitoring his calls, which rightfully so. I get it. He's a manipulative person. And I told y'all, I don't think that he's changed at all. I just don't. I don't believe that he's changed. And the fact that he was given all of these privileges as soon as he hopped off the bus tells me that that prison is like a haven to him. Now, I don't agree with him first time getting caught doing something like that. Him losing 3 months worth of commissary and phone calls, bruh. I think that's, I ain't gonna hold you. Your first time, that's a little harsh to me, bro. But it would send a message to him immediately. We ain't playing that shit. So he didn't lose his job. He has his phone calls monitored, which means if he would have said anything crazy or wild, they would have threw that out there. So when they say a mysterious woman, but yet the freaking lawyer is saying, hey, bro, attorney-client privilege, tells me that the attorney may be telling the truth and that the news station, the cross-burning station, CBS, Colors Band Station, whatever the hell they go by, I don't remember. Yeah, them fools, they got something up their sleeve too. See, sensationalizing things sometimes is what a lot of news stations do. Hell, sometimes I do it in my titles, but it still sticks to the title. So in a way, they're still doing it, but they're doing it from an acerbic view, from a very negative standpoint. And I ain't gonna hold you. I might got an issue with that, bro. And for those who are saying, yo, Nash, why is it anything that Diddy does, you report on it? Because we gonna tell our story. Us. The people who ain't paid off. The people who don't have a vendetta to push. I always tell y'all, even if I don't like a person, I will still tell you the truth as unbiased as possible. And then I will point out my biases if they exist so you can see where I'm coming from. No harm, no foul, no foul, no harm. But this is cold bullshit. Is what it is. So y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on this one. I'd be curious to read every damn comment. Am I tripping? CBS tripping? TMZ tripping? Or are they both in cahoots and this is just what they do? Ping-ponging it back and forth. I don't know, man. Shit getting crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious around here, man. Y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on that one. Click right here to see the Lil Durk video. And it seems like that shit that Yella was saying all my life, seemed like his ass gonna be getting out. They putting BTA. Click right here, or click right here for the playlist, and I'll catch you on the next one. Reloading.